Hello, welcome again to the Colours of Life show, and we are recording all the way in Oxford, the United Kingdom. I've been coming across interesting stories about education, and my guest today is working in the field of education through a charity in her home country of Uganda. So please welcome with me Moreen Pattison.
Thank you.
Hi, Morin.
Hello.
So lovely to have met you and to have you on this show. Yeah.
Thank you. Pleasure's all mine.
I was at your church like 2 weeks ago, the Oxford Bible Church, and that was really inspiring. And I understand. How long have you been there?
Over 10 years.
Okay.
It is a fantastic church, isn't it?
It is, and very multicultural, just, different people from different parts of the world. I was really impressed by that.
Yes, yeah. And I'm one of the junior church teachers as well.
Are you?
Yes. I teach the age group 5 to 8.
You must be a special person, because I
love working with children.
Even when my children were that age group, it can be really tasking, I think. So I just admire people like you who are able to work with young children. Well done.
Thank you. But I think, with children, they're always differently. They act differently to someone else. As in, not a family member, not a mum, not a father. They're always so well behaved. I learn from the children of junior church every Sunday.
I can imagine.
This last Sunday, I had a session to teach about the healing power of faith. I was feeling a little bit unwell, but I said, no, I can't. I have to go and teach. And the children, the way they interact, the way they engage, and I always give praise to God, but I give my hats off to the parents as well, because they work so, so hard to make sure the children are so grounded in the word. And they challenge me sometimes, Bible verses, which I've forgotten. The children will just remember it. So I am very, very blessed to be at Oxford Bible Church.
Excellent, excellent. And then your love for children and education, you were working in a school as a teaching assistant, I believe.
Yes, 7 years of experience as a teaching assistant. I've been a TA, in short, from year 6 right down to reception. And the 7 years experience gave me the time to explore all the different year groups and to then finally decide which year group would I want to, eventually train. And then I finally found my place in the early years. And that's from 2 to 5. That's where I'd started my training.
Excellent. Yeah. And I know about 7 years ago as well, you started a very inspiring project in Uganda. We'd love to hear about it. Let's begin with why that project, because you came to this country like 20 years ago. But 7 years ago, you started the Rural Education Network International.
That's correct.
What does REN do? And why did you start it?
Why did I start it? Wow. As a child, working with children, education has always been my passion. And, you go through stages of life where you think, am I going to do that? Am I not going to do that? But God is always in the picture, and he does work it all out. So my family, obviously, as you know, I was born in Uganda. My father left us, a bit of land. He was a very progressive thinker. Yeah. He didn't want his girls to be left out. So he divided his farmland. Our farmland, where we used to go and do farming during the holidays, played on there, picked crops. He divided, for all his children. And obviously living in England, I was thinking, how can I make use of this? But being the progressive thinker that he was, and he was so proud of his daughters, couple that with my passion for education, I thought it's got to be a school.
Okay.
That's the crazy idea a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I live in England.
Exactly.
I didn't have money. I don't earn much as a teaching assistant.
Yeah.
So I needed to pray and just make sure God was in it. And I prayed, and the cornerstone verse that really helped to build up the school and eventually the charity is Jeremiah 17:7-8, which speaks about the person who trusts in God will be like
a tree planted by the rivers of water.
Yes.
whose leaves are always green, I believe.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
whose roots are always nourished. Fruitful all the time.
Fruitful. Yeah. Even if in drought, it'll be green.
Yeah.
And indeed, Willow has been green. Willow School has been green throughout the drought. As in, there are times we started on temporary structures. We've done fundraising to build permanent classrooms. We've done fundraising to construct a borehole. We had no water.
Okay.
The land itself is the school land itself is 23 acres.
Oh, wow.
So we have everything we need from the land. We have some building materials from the land. So again, saving cost. We have sand, which we get from the land. Okay. We make our own bricks. So we've cut a lot of costs to build our classroom structures. So be it
and
not
providing
finished.
Work for people, local people as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. One of the best achievements for me is the school is not just a girls' education. Sometimes it comes across as I'm all for girls' education. I am for vulnerable children. Because they are boys who are just as vulnerable. But one of the key things we've seen this year is a half of our teaching staff are female, which was not the case. So it's really important to get female teachers into the education. And also 2 of our non-teaching staff members were our former students who started way back in 2016. They were older, about 16, but we could only start our classroom, stop at primary 4. They had to stay on a scholarship. This is one of the things we do at the school. We have scholarships for children who are very vulnerable. If they're old, they feel like, I don't want to be in school because I'm too old. But actually, education has no age. Anybody can achieve anything they want through education if they have the support and they want to. And those are the people that I step on every day. I get out of bed, to help.
To help. Excellent. When on this show, whenever I'm speaking, a lot of people have passion, but when I'm speaking to someone with such a passionate project, they just keep going on and on and on. Like, okay. One of the things I just heard, I hadn't realized it's an all-girls school.
No, it's mixed.
Oh, sorry, it's mixed. Yeah. Okay, so
but at times you think it's just for girls. It's not for girls. Okay,
because some of the photographs I checked out your Facebook page, I did see. So do you have majority girls in your school, or would you say it's half? Okay, that's good.
I've had 1 year when I was celebrating was more girls than more boys.
Okay, okay.
I was really happy.
Yeah, and I just, I'm taking you back to your father, for instance. You said he was, proud of his daughters and he wanted to give them an opportunity. So that's that cultural element of some societies, certainly in Africa, where the culture tends to favor like the male child going to school above. So did you have lots of sisters? Did you have brothers?
We were 8, 4 girls and four boys.
So equal, yeah.
So equal. And the older children obviously had the chance of education. Okay. And I unfortunately didn't have, the chance to be supported to go to school. Okay. Because I was a girl. Yeah. And I don't wholly blame the family because at the time the financial situations had changed, things, insecurity. My father wasn't working at the time. Okay. So that contributed to what is seen as, girls are favored over boys. It is a fact. Girls are favored over boys.
Or boys are favored over girls.
Enough. Yes, sorry, I'm saying it the other way. Boys are favored, over girls. Yeah. And even though with my father's case, he really, if he had, the income,
the resources, he would have liked to give all his children equal opportunity. How many children do you have in the school right now?
At the moment, we have 300 registered regularly.
That is
sometimes the number fluctuates. Okay. If it's raining season, because we're so remote, the roads are so bad.
Yeah, I was going to ask where in Uganda is the school?
It's located in Noya district. Okay. It's a newer, Uganda keeps on they have many districts, which I'm not well versed with it up to date.
Okay.
But Noya district is in northern Uganda, is one of the newer districts. It's carved from Gulu district, which used to be the biggest metropolitan town, still is.
Okay.
But the district has been split. So Noya, it's a newer district, and the school is located in Lee sub-county, Koch, Lee sub-county. If you're heading towards Makshon Falls National Park, it's an amazing tourist destination.
Okay.
Then you're likely to find Willow School.
Interesting.
But if you're heading via Gulu, it will be very difficult because it's very remote.
Okay. And you did say it's a boarding school. I found that unusual for me. I know in the UK, they do have boarding schools for primary school children, but not in Nigeria. So why did you decide to make it a boarding school? Is it from your influence in the UK, or do you have boarding schools for primary school children in Uganda?
No, boarding school generally, has a support network for parents. Is very common in Uganda.
Okay.
We had to have it because we wanted our candidates classes, the children who were finishing primary 7, to not have their education interrupted, because we have solar light for them to use to read.
Okay.
And in their homes, they wouldn't have the facility to read, they wouldn't have the time. So boarding school is a big thing in Uganda, and children absolutely love being in boarding school. For us, was a case of we needed to help the children. So originally, we had opened it only for our candidates. But because our school is so remote and there isn't any decent schools in the area, the nearest government school is about 14 miles away.
Okay.
And some of the children who come to our school before the boarding facility opened, they were having to walk for about 7 miles, going and coming back 7 miles.
Wow.
At times they'd not eaten lunch, neither breakfast, not even water to drink. But do you know what? They show up so happy.
And
they're just coming to school.
That must give you so much satisfaction, Morin.
Absolutely. So when we opened the boarding facility, the parents just sent all their children. We have about 40 children in our boarding facilities.
Excellent. We'll take a break now. And when we come back, I know you have unusual ways that you raise funds for the school. We'd like to hear about that. So thank you for staying with us on the Colors of Life show and listening to this amazing woman tell her story of the work she's doing in Uganda. We'll take a break now. And when we come back, we'll hear how this school is funded, plans for sustainability, and so much more. So don't go away. Welcome back to Colors of Life show. So we'll just dive into fundraising, Moreen. You have some very interesting and exciting ways to raise money for the Rural Education Network International, which is your charity, doing a great job in Uganda, in the Gulu area of Uganda.
Yes, Noya district, yes.
Noya district, yeah. Close to Gulu?
Close to Gulu, yeah.
Okay, excellent. So, fundraising, how do you do it?
Fundraising, no, I always say, and I always remember, God is in the project, in the school, because every time we have a problem, we have a challenge, he just shows up. Equally was with the fundraising. A friend of mine said, you need to do fundraising, you need to do a wing walk. And I asked, a wing walk? I'd never had
What is a wing walk?
What is a wing walk?
Okay.
So basically, the wing walk is you sit on top of an aircraft. When I say on top of an aircraft, the pilot is down there and you have ladders to climb up. So then you're strapped on top of you're securely strapped. You're not fall off.
Okay. Must be a small aircraft.
A small aircraft, very, very small aircraft.
Okay.
So then the aircraft takes off.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and you...
So for someone like me who doesn't do heights, I can imagine.
It is a fantastic way of conquering your heights.
Okay.
I was afraid of heights. I was so fearful. I really thought I was going to die and I'm just going to disappear in the sky and not come back. But through prayer, I really had to put the word in. If I really believe, I've got to believe I can, conquer this fear and I will come back.
Wow.
And I eventually...
You survived, and that's why you're
speaking.
How long ago was this?
This was 2017.
Okay.
My first adventurous fundraising.
Yeah.
And as a result, we've raised about, I think, £2,000.
Okay.
£2,000. And it all went to support the great work we do with the children in Uganda at Willow School.
Fantastic. So you did that about a year after you started the project?
Yes.
Yeah. And then you also did some skydiving? Is that what it's called?
I did, yes, skydiving, tandem skydiving. So you have an experienced skydiver.
Okay.
So then you're strapped, again, it's all safe, but you still have to conquer the fear.
Yes,
aspect.
of course.
So the aeroplane, again, a smaller aircraft,
Okay.
seats are taken off, you're packed about 8 to 6, all strapped in with an experienced skydiver.
Okay.
Or sometimes you join in with a group of skydiving students who just literally fall off the plane. So the pilot goes about 10,000 miles, 10,000 feet up.
Okay. Wow.
And then they start falling off, literally. At that stage, you can't refuse, but just do it.
And you did it?
And I did it.
And how much did you raise this time?
We raised about £8,000. I think COVID interrupted our fundraising drive. This was 2019, was going to go into 2020. £7,000. Our target was £10,000.
Okay.
And that went to really good use again.
As I can imagine. Well done. Well done. So you were saying you've put up buildings, so you now have boarding facilities for the school. And you did mention that some of the teachers are ex-students. Then where does the other majority of the teachers come? Because you've said you're in a real remote location.
Yes, so it's part of the challenge of, being very remote. So we have to hire our teachers from Gulu.
Okay.
And so they come all the way from Gulu. I'm very, very grateful to our staff. Our head teacher, he's so dedicated, he's so committed. He keeps me up to date. I know who's teaching what and where, and when who's on holiday. And God has been there. We've got a team of really young people who are really ready to help and teach. They have the passion to teach. They're not there for the money. They're there to teach. So sometimes it's a challenge because of the distance. But thank God, we every year we do a recruitment drive.
Okay.
Our teachers get paid on time. They has an incentive. We give them a small piece of land.
Okay.
We divide it to them so they can farm something, because we're so remote.
Yes.
We always aim at sustainability.
Yes, that's so important.
As with our buildings, what do we have here that we can turn it into resource? How can we make it resourceful to help us? So we make our own bricks. We have the sand.
Yes, I remember you said that. So you're actually also providing work for people in the community.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We do give them, albeit small, but it's still,
I'm sure it's very helpful. Yes. Morin, you're doing such a great job. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to now get to know the lady behind this amazing initiative. So I've been speaking to Moreen Pattison about the Rural Education Network International work she's doing in Uganda. And when we come back, who is Morin? We would like to know what about her family, her faith, and what makes her tick and all that. So stay with us. Morin, the name of your school, Willows?
Yes, Willow.
Willow, not Willows.
Willow.
Willow School.
Yeah, Willow School.
Where did you get that name?
It's from a tree.
Okay.
Again, it comes back to the Bible verse, which the school is built on.
Okay.
Jeremiah 17:11. I can't say that enough. So the whipping willow is a type of tree in England. So I didn't like the first word, the whipping. I didn't want a weeping school. So I took willow, the tree. Willow is a type of tree.
Okay.
It grows by the river. It's so beautiful. It just hangs out, and it's very shady. Underneath, you got a beautiful shade, and that's where I got the name of the school, which ties in very much with what the Bible says about a tree planted by the river.
Rivers of water. And it also reminds me of the parable of the kingdom that Jesus shared, saying that the kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed, which is a very tiny seed, but it's sown and then it grows and becomes a shrub and then a big tree that provides shelter for birds and nests and all that. So interesting. Now, Morin, I know you're married to Ian.
Yes.
And Ian is from Oxford, you
Ian
said.
is from Oxford, yeah.
So how did you meet him?
Ian and I met at Oxford Bible Church, my church. And I'd known Ian for many years, many years. I'd never thought he would be my darling husband.
One day.
One day. I never thought. I just thought he's the guy who loves walking, always praying for people.
Okay.
You know, as you know, Oxford Bible Church is our family church. We look out for each other. So there was always Ian. And I started the project, you know, stepped up one day and shared my testimony, what the Lord has done and how I'd started this project in Uganda. And I wanted a few of my church members to join me in fundraising drive. It was our first Snowdonia. We've done a few climbs up Snowdonia in Wales. It's a mountain here. Okay. So I was going to do that. And I had done the charity walk for the London Olympics, the Games. One of the church members was doing a fundraising. So I knew it'd be good to do something like this 3-4 years after the 2012 London Games. So Ian was first up, and I thought, okay, he's just one of those generous, you know, members from church.
Yeah.
We did the fundraising, and we went up Snowdonia, and then I had to go to Uganda, and then I came back, and he said to me, "Where have you been?" And I was like,
why are you asking?
Why are you asking? But like, took me aback a little, but I didn't think anything of it. Yeah. And then my graduation came round. He got invited. When he came to my graduation, he brought me a little card with kind of, you know, with his number. I didn't see the card, so I didn't ring him for many months. So then he was waiting. And to me, it was just Ian from church.
Yeah. Nothing
further at the time. And then eventually I went back to Uganda again and then came back. I was really ill and ended up at the hospital. And I messaged him because he had told me, when you come back, you know, I've got some fundraising I need to know, kind of update or something. I said, yeah, sure. So again, I just messaged as the person from church, just giving an update, as I always do in church. And then, he came to the hospital and he said to me, "You look so beautiful." He's not going to believe I said this. And I thought, oh, okay, that's a bit more direct. And our story, you know.
Yeah. So one thing led to the other.
One thing led to another, yeah.
And I can't help just thinking when I'm listening to how you yourself and Ian came together, that it's tied to your work in Uganda as well.
Yes.
In a way, because you came out in church to give a testimony and then he started, you know, so
Absolutely.
from friend to husband today.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's also interesting that many times you're praying for, I don't know if you were praying for a husband or even believing God for that, but you wonder, how would it happen? And it's already in the making around you. You just need your eyes to be open to that. That's interesting.
Yes.
And I know you have a daughter.
Yes, Jessica. She is 17 years old, doing her sixth form at the moment.
Okay. So does she support your...
Yes, she supports the charity very much. She's actually she's our ambassador. She does our sometimes we give 3-quarter reports at Oxford Bible Church.
Okay.
So she does the presentation now and again. She's in my A team. I call her. She's in my A team. So I've got the A team there in her.
Yes, and I know you said Ian is in your A team as well. Excellent. So, what keeps you going on this project? Because I can imagine. I mean, we've been highlighting the high points, as it were, but I can imagine that there have been low points. You're not there. There'd be challenges, maybe staffing and all that. What keeps you going when things get tough?
Oh gosh, it's again God, honestly, because my health hasn't been great the last 2 years. Okay. Everything has been one on top of the other. First, we have the challenge of the funds. We don't have secured funds. We go month by month, but each time the Lord provides. When I first started, I was 100% funding it. Today, I do 20% personally funding it. The 80% comes from generous people.
Fantastic.
One-off will come and say, the Lord put in my heart to add on. And then there a few corporates, organizations that give us monthly.
Okay.
So at the moment we go month by month. So that is the challenge. But then again, that's why I stepped out to trust God. So I've literally surrendered that to him. The other challenge which I've had has been my personal health.
Okay.
I'm going through perimenopause, and today I feel so brave really to just even speak about it, because God does not want us to fear. At times I felt a bit ashamed. I had the conversation with my mum. I said, why didn't you tell me about this? Because I went through a period where I lost my hair. Absolutely, my hair fell off. I came all literally to pieces. I was very bald. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't walk. My body, constant ache, constant pain. I had panic attacks, which I'd never had before. I had memory loss, brain fog. If anybody uses the word brain fog, I'll look at them to make sure they know what the meaning, because I have a completely different meaning to that word, brain fog. That's still ongoing. I had to have HRT. And
hormone replacement
therapy. That in itself, getting it was a testimony, because someone from my A team just offered to pay privately. And that meant all the major symptoms which were debilitating had stopped. So now it's manageable.
Okay. So, I mean, and who can tell? Here you are, just so vibrant and so passionate about what you're doing, and that's just so amazing. And if our viewers want to support this initiative, how can they do that? We will put details on the screen. Is there any other way that, anything you want to tell them?
Yes, no, you can always, we're more than welcome for supporters. If you can pray for us, we need that every time, because, when you're praying, then we have the wisdom for the money. First of all, accountability is important to us. We're very, very transparent. And investing in education is one of the best gifts you can give a child. I believe wholeheartedly, and I'm sure that many would agree with me. So if you can invest into a child, you can sponsor a child from Willow School. If you're in England, you're viewing from the UK, £50 would look after a child for about 2 terms. Okay. And that's still a lot of money if you don't have it. But if you have that spare, we are very, very grateful for any donation that anybody can spare. Or if the Lord puts in your heart to get in touch, tell us your story so we can share our stories and encourage one another as we continue doing everything we do to glorify God.
Okay, and I know you're on Facebook, and it's the REN.
Yes, Rural Education Network International. That's our Facebook page.
Okay.
All our informations are there. If you need to get in touch, it's in there. We will be having a website fairly soon. Again, our priority is education. So everything we have, we don't spend any administration costs in England. I do run the charity on my time after working full time to pay the bills and everything else. So we are working on our website. We will have a website running. Again, the Lord has put it on someone's heart to just pay for that.
You did mention that.
Yes, so we will have a website where you can reach us. But for now, pray for us. Rural Education Network International is our Facebook page.
Excellent. And where do you work right now?
I work at Mansfield College, one of Oxford University colleges.
Okay, so tell us about Mansfield College, because I know a lot of the colleges have a peculiar history. So what is it about Mansfield College you'd like us to know?
Wow, Mansfield College is such a fantastic place to work at. I haven't been working there very long, but I can tell you they are great employers, and it's a college, it's a smaller college. When I say smaller college, I cannot compare to Magdalen College or Christchurch College or St. John's College or New College. Those are the bigger colleges. Mansfield is very, very small. And the history of it was started as forgetting the word. It was a place basically to give second chances or a place for women. Okay. And what I love about Mansfield is it support women. We've had 3 female principals, in the last 3 years, and their tenure is normally under just 10 years. Okay. So to have three female principals, and they work so hard to make sure the college is running to at the standard and looking after children. For me, again, I'm still not, even though I'm not working directly with younger children, I still get to support the children, and I work at the front desks. And our job, we are
so
the
when
gateway.
You say children, you mean the university students in Mansfield?
Now university students, I still support them. So even if I'm not working with younger children, but I'm still working within education, I still get to have discussions about what course are you studying, and get to understand their life, because I live this side of Oxford. So the other side of Oxford is very, very interesting.
Yeah,
and
the
I'm
town
learning.
and the gown, I hear.
Absolutely. You said it well. So I'm learning so much, but about my new college where I work.
Okay, that is just fantastic. So I just see this thread of education running through every aspect of your life, from working as a teacher's assistant to now working at Mansfield College and having the Willow School running in Uganda. Wow. Very well done to you, Morin. So where do you see the Willow School in 10 years? What would you like to see?
Wow, in 10 years' time, I would like Willow School to be self-sustaining. Sustainability is key to us. I would like to see more students come up as teachers, because that's always good, giving back to the community, and also it's telling a story.
Yes, of course.
And I like to see Willow have a secure funding.
Okay.
Funding potential would be really good, but most importantly, God being there, guiding us every step of the way.
And I'm sure he will be. So does it mean the children don't pay any school fees?
The children pay school fees.
Okay.
Because, again, to help support the running cost, but they pay a discounted school fees.
Okay.
The equivalent of about £10 per term. Our term is 3.5 or 2.5 or 3 months, depends when the school is open.
Okay.
So they pay about £10, and that helps towards the running cost, because our biggest cost is salary.
Yes, and £10 is not a lot of money at all when you think that we could easily just blow that on snacks. One snack, and that amount can help keep a child in school for a term.
For a term, yes.
Yeah. Morin, it's been a pleasure just chatting with you. Well done on the work of Wren International and the Willow School. Wish you all the best in your endeavors, and we'd love to hear how you're going on. Thank you very much for coming on the Colours of Life show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Wow. Well, so this is the end of our conversation with Moreen Pattison, founder of the Willow School in Uganda. Very inspiring story. And I hope that this story would also encourage people to step out and do something in your little corner. You may not be starting a school, but you may be able to start a book club. I don't know, a food kitchen, something just to make a difference in someone else's life. And it's so fulfilling, as we can hear from Morin's story. Thank you for staying with us. Remember to subscribe to our channel, The Colors of Life TV, on YouTube. Like us, make a comment, share this video with somebody. Thank you for staying with us.